What's up, y'all? Oh my goodness, I hope y'all enjoyed my last video I put out, because I know I enjoyed making that video. It was just too much of fun. So if y'all want to see some more videos like that, like skits or whatever, hit my comment box below and tell me. Yeah, Starr J Kraziness, we need some more of that, because it was nothing but laughter, ghetto-ness, and craziness all up in one. So yeah, well, let's go ahead and get into why we here tonight. That Love and Hip Hop ATL. I don't know the season right now or the name of the title, but I can say it brought a little more drama and a more something I can, sit at the screen and be like, okay, we're working with something, than the past 2 episodes. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, when is it going to end? Type thing. So we here. So it starts off with we back at Scrap de Leon. Him and his family, they waiting for him to get sentenced in Crawfordville. Whoop whoop! Shout out to my family out there. Actually got family down there in Crawfordville. So they're waiting for his sentence. The judge, he looking at him like, you done did the crime because you about to do the time. So he had said, he don't know why he gotta get all this time for this little, minuscule type of little bid he did or whatever. And I'm like it too. I mean, he just selling weed, but don't that grow from the earth? You mix it up. But we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, so the judge be like, why we here, what's up against you. The minimum is 5 years. The maximum is 30. So we're going to do it like this. I'm going to give you 20 years. And I mean, everybody's head went down like, damn. So he actually got 20 years. And he broke it up like this. He get 5 years in confinement. So 5 years you going to serve. Okay? And then the rest of his sentence, he going to do probation. But he going to have to pay that 100,000 fines, I guess, in increments or payment plan or however they do it. But yeah, everybody was sad, but I'm like, damn, he just got 5 years actually in the jail cell, clank clank. So I mean, what you want? You out there in the country anyway, they weren't gonna let you off. So he walking, they put the handcuffs on him. Mama crying, I see his bro sassy, tearing up. Everybody just like, damn, he gonna be gone for a minute. Then they had like this little scene where going off to the girls he was fooling with. They hit Tiara up first, and she just saying she always gonna tell King, which is the son they share together, that his daddy love him. He gone somewhere, but he will be back. Blah blah blah. Then we go to Tommy. She talking about she was drinking. Yes, she was drinking. She thinks she gonna drink tonight or the rest of the day and the day after that. Okay, but Scrap better get together, because she might not be there for the long haul, because she was the one rocking with him, which is so not the truth. But like I said, this is scripted. Then we go to Carly Red with her fake, and she's talking about something. I'm just glad, I got to meet somebody as a friend like and doggone well she wasn't gonna stay ride or die for him. I'm done. So he walking out the courtroom, going to the police car, and he like gave a wink. I'm like, who be winking at? The camera or your mama? Like, what you doing? But like I said, all this drama they done filled up is coming to where we about to hit this reunion. And they're supposed to be doing the reunion, taping the reunion on the 25th of this month. So it's a lot of juice that's going to be served. Okay, that's all I got to say. Then we go to Mimi house. We got Stevie J walking like he the king of the house. Just got nothing but a robe, his little head thing, I forgot what you call it, and his boxers. Like, you and Mimi not together like that on that level, right? But okay, you do you. So he walking around like he the man in the town. And basically Mimi was looking at him too, like, what the hell you got on? This ain't. And he talking about he missing her and this and that, doing his little thing he always be doing or whatever. And so she was like, check this out. Since you wanna, this ain't for play. You just not staying here or crashing here, as she called it, for just no apparent reason. I'm gonna find out. So I got a little some connections of where this promise be made. She brought up the whole fact that her and Stevie has a child together, allegedly or whatever. So she was like, look, she in North Carolina, that's what we're going to, so I'm gonna need you to be ready, because I ain't playing no games this time. And he like, well, I ain't got nothing to hide. And come find out he didn't. But the point of the matter is, put some clothes on. I don't want to see all that. So old. But so yeah, they do that. And he's still trying to be all up on her. And she was like, no, close that up, please do. Close that up. She talking about how she missed Chris scripted, because Chris talking about she only went on there just for Mimi, but it changes you and stuff like that, blah blah blah. You can go ahead and Google all that or whatever. So then we get to then we get to Betty Owl and Mama D. Betty Owl happened to see, not Betty Owl, Mama D happened to see Betty Owl at that little anti-bullying thing Miss Deb had going on or whatever. And she was like feeling her. She was looking like a little bad. So I'm like, you kind of giving me like a Bati's, what's your name? Mama D. But she said she used to be a pimp. So so she just want to hook Scrap up again. I'm like, Mama D, didn't he tell you over and over and over again, get out his shiz not E. You worry about your shiz not E with Ernest, and we got it over here. I'm like, damn. But she always gonna be in her son's business. I don't even know why he even keep reiterating that statement to her, because she does it goes one ear and out the other. And she bipolar. She got some stuff going on, so it really don't matter. So she goes in there. Betty Owl, she's performing this. Well, she's not performing. She like rehearsing this song she got out or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. And Mama D jamming to it. So she does her little rehearsal thing. Then she come over there and she like, what you doing here? Whatever and stuff like that. She like, look, I like you. You looking good. If I was a pimp again, you'll be out on them streets. She was like, what? Pimp? What? Whoa. Streets? Wait a minute. Yes, boo. She said she'll put you out on the streets and bend you over, like she said in the first episode when we met her for the very first time. Oh my gosh. Now that's when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was popping. The stuff they got going on now is some foolery. Tomfoolery. Okay? So they go on talking and this and that, and then she bring up the whole fact. So what's going on with you and Scrap? He told me about you and this and that. And she was like, well, right now ain't nothing going on with me and Scrap. I want to do business with him, like working on some music, but he said he couldn't work with me because one, he had Bambi down his back about loyalty and stuff. And my friend I got into it with Bambi friend, which is Tammy or whatever. So she's like, it ain't nothing, but I'm really not working with him, especially, even if I want to give him a second chance, I'm not, because I saw some Instagram post he had posted on his Instagram talking about transgender women. And if y'all all seen it, because it was out, but basically he was saying, he wasn't bashing the transgender community. He was just saying, if you are transgender, let somebody know. And of course he like, if you got a penis and something like that, you just basically a man with a wig on or whatever. But he was just like, let somebody know, because it has been some times where men or women, whatever they're trans, they're going to, whatever sex they're going to, they don't want to tell nobody, because one, they might get violent. And two, they just trying to work out their hormones and stuff. And cool. But nowadays, you need to let people know. Like, look, I used to be a man or I used to be a woman. Hey, it is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. I know it could be hard, but hey, I'd rather you go ahead and, tell me what it is than some happening what it shouldn't have been, what could have been avoided. And that's all he was saying. Let me see some baby pictures. Let me see some documents, because if you are heterosexual, especially for a man messing with another man, he never had feelings like that, it's just like, whoa, so I get exactly what Scrap was saying, but I guess it did come off in a way that he could be bashing the transgender community. And when Mama D got a whiff of that, she was like, "Oh, I did not raise my son because I actually got, a friend that might that's transgender and stuff like that. So I did not raise him to be judgmental or whatever." She said, "Well, I'm gonna definitely." Then she went to the palace on fire. Oh my gosh, the palace on fire. We need. I'm like, what? What the hell is wrong? You ain't taking your medicine on the regular. Like, that needs to be a everyday thing. Somebody needs to be watching her. I don't know if she's still doing this for cameras or she really is some messed up in the dome. But she really needs to get help, Scrap. I'm just saying. Because your mama loony for Cocoa Puffs. She probably loony for Lucky Charms and everything. Magically delicious. So I say. But she on that drain. But, so Mama D said she gonna talk to Scrap about this because this cannot be in the palace. You know how she go with that. So we on our way with Mimi and Stevie J to see Promise Be May, and they just talking to Stevie just saying, "Oh, I'm happy to be here with you," blah blah blah. All that little crap he be talking. And what's her name? Mimi, she come out with a little surprise. She was like, "We're gonna make sure this either yes or no, because I ain't got time to be doing all this ish. I got a DNA test. What's up?" And he like, basically like, "What you doing with that? You can't go for my..." No, nigga, we can't do that. I'm gonna need to see some results, because just going off your word alone, no. And what he was saying, because Mimi had noticed that he didn't have on his wedding ring. He ain't told Joseline where he at, this and that. And he gonna say, "I don't feel connected, not respected, and I feel sexually." He feels sexually neglected. I'm like, did you just really come up with that, or did you take some time to come up with that look? I'm like, oh my gosh, you really need help. Cause he been hitting on Mimi since like hitting her, trying to get up close to her, see if something spark up, and she like, "No, I'm not having that. I'm not." Okay. So he basically saying he ain't got nothing to hide. Joseline need to stop with all this foolishness she doing and these lies. So we get to the lady place. She didn't come to the door real quick, but she already knew they was out there. I don't even know why they gotta do all this extra stuff. Just open up the damn door. Ugh. But she comes to the door. She looked all shocked or whatever, and they come in. They do a little small talk. Mimi was trying to, basically tell her why they there, and she was like, "I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from Stevie." Yes, she did. So Stevie was like, "Look, you been putting lies on my name. You saying we got a child together. You know we ain't got no child together. Why you gotta start this drama?" So she was like, "Yes, we do. Whatever. Come to find out, y'all, they ain't had no child. She just wanted to come up off his name." And I'm like, Stevie? Of all people. I digress, okay? I digress. But yes, she trying to come off Stevie, talking about some, I got this voice and all this. I can do stuff. You know how, who she said? You got Kim K done came off of set state. You got Mimi. Mimi. Oh, okay. And so Mimi kind of fell in her feelings, and she was like, "Really? Oh, we want to do that?" Yeah. She went there, Mimi. She went there. So Mimi, they going for a little tat for tat, and she was like, "You know what? I'm about to get up out of here. I ain't got time for no foolishness. Joseline done lied to me. Stevie just doing his own thing. Whoop de whoop." So she got up and left. His words was like, "Look, from now on, I don't want to have no contact with you. Don't you be putting no more lies on my name, and we done. Finito, okay?" And she's like, "Okay," or whatever. Yeah, right. Boop, boop. Okay, so she just really wanted attention and to be known and for the come up. All right. So then we get to Mama D and Scrap. Oh, I love me some Scrap. His personality is just like, okay, I see you, Scrap, you and Bambi, y'all do y'all little thizzle, naive. So he get there, Mama D, she thinks she gonna cruise. So she talked to him, she like, "Look, I met up with Betty." He like, "What the hell, Mom, why are you back doing this again? Haven't you got enough of fooling in my stuff? And she was like, I'm always be basically I'm always be in your area, okay? So she was like, yeah, I heard that you was getting off on transgender people. And he was like, no, I was not getting off on transgender people. I was trying to have a position saying, if you transgender, let it, no, okay, let it, no, so I can move on about my business. And like I said, I don't think he was doing it in a malicious way. He was just, he felt a certain way like everybody else, and he was stating his opinion, you know, or whatever. He just wants to be informed. You swing that way, well, let me swing on out this way, because I don't swing that way, okay? And I mean, everybody needs before. He just needs to see some baby pictures. I don't know, whatever. And he was just saying he was speaking his mind. He wasn't trying to bully nobody. And his mom was like, okay. Well, I'm going to need you to talk to Betty Owl. Just like you explained to me your stance on this, and you wasn't being hurtful or anything like that, I'm gonna need you to tell Betty Owl the same thing. And he like, okay, I can talk to her, but you know, I really just want to talk to her about music. I don't really see why I have to explain and break it down of what I said and why I said it. But okay, whatever, mama, whatever. So then we get to oh, excuse me, y'all. Little parched. So then we get to Joseline. She got her little own office. You know, she into herself because she out of the 3-year contract she had with Stevie. Don come in. So they supposed to be working together now. And she just go on and tell her, look, let's put the business part aside. Let me drop some tea on you, baby girl. She like, what you got now, Joseline? So she going to tell Don, well, I met up with Mimi, and I told her that Stevie got all these baby mamas out here. Guess what, girl? I lied. He ain't got nothing. You think I would be out here with this fool if he had all these baby mamas and this and that, and he broke? Child, I lied to her. Just doing a runaround. And she said she lied to her because she want his butt to be on child support so Mimi can suck him dry of his money. Haven't he been on child support before with the other baby mamas he do have? And I'm just confused on the whole situation. So she was like in her feelings about that. Yes, I'm on you and I'm on her, and y'all both just gonna be looking like little two twiddly dum D's out there, just looking stupid, which they were, especially Mimi. Like, you done had bad blood with this girl. I know you trying to turn a new leaf, blah blah blah, but certain stuff you can't turn. Okay, Joseline made you really look like a fool. And so, and I guess that's why all this. And then my mom, Deb Chanel, for that world, make sure you go check her out. Her link, it will be in the description box below. But she was saying maybe she's might be leaving Love and Hip Hop. And if y'all haven't seen my video about that, they said they might be replacing her with Delicious. You know, it's not confirmed, but they might. And I'm like, yeah, because if she ain't working with Stevie no more, and Stevie probably got her on with that, then yeah, how is that gonna work? You know, why would she even be on the show? You know, and then her putting him on blast with all this social media war, back and forth beef they got going on. So like I say, stay tuned for that reunion. It's supposed to be drama popping. But yeah, so she was just saying, yeah. So Don was like, well, check this out. I got you hooked up with Rick Ross, some event he's supposed to be having or whatever. She's like, Rick Ross? Okay. And whatever. And I did see that picture because, you know, all this stuff is pre-recorded. So this happened, you know, but they're trying to bring it up to like what's recent. And I'm like, okay, you know, Rick Ross, the boss, I guess. I guess. But yeah, so Mimi and all them was a little pawned in Joseline game pretty much. So now scrap he's doing this performance of his new song called Sucker for Love that he got with Bobby V. And I mean, y'all might as well make Bobby Valentino a cast member, cause he in damn near every season. Like, he might have been on every episode, but he in every season. Okay, if it's in Kirk's scene or if it's Stevie J scene, Scrap scene, Young Jock. I mean, ugh. But they perform, and I actually like the song. I was like, hey, get it, Scrap, get it, Scrap, get it. So Betty Owl and D Smith, they come in walking in because he actually invited Betty Owl to, talk about some music and just see him perform his new song and see what get some feedback. So he comes down to where he finished performing. He comes down to where D Smith and Betty Owl is, and she was just like, hey, or whatever. And he kind of knew he was already in some, because he was like, oh, they must be here also about what I said on the gram. Yep. Damn it, Scrap. So he handled like a G. D Smith was asking him about, why did you do it? Why you said what you said? And he was just like he been saying throughout the episode, he was just making, his stance on it. No disrespect to the trans, but just let him know, or let anybody else know what you identify yourself as, or what you was, like, whatever. And so she was like, well, it's a lot of people that don't entail that, they still just go ahead and sleep around and whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's them, that's not me, that's not what I'm asking, And she was like, why you wanted them to see baby pictures? And he was just like, I guess that's next to the thing that when you was little, you had to come out that way, you was either boy or girl, you stuff like that. Self-identification, what you was. So he definitely wasn't disrespectful. He was just letting them know. And D Smith was like, okay, I see where you coming from, but I don't, because I still see you as, not uplifting. And I mean, you can't, everybody had their own opinion, everybody gonna think what they want to think, and you gotta also think about what environment they was grown up in, so I mean, yeah, we're moving towards being more open to different things as a whole, but a lot of people, they ain't with that, okay? And I'm with Scrap. If you doing some other stuff, let me know, like, what was you, okay, because but like I said, he wasn't being disrespectful, but she wasn't feeling it. But I think she was more let have about when he was explaining it than the whole situation with Waka Flocka and what he said. But like I said, everybody had their own opinion. Let's not go there. So who we got? Rashida and Mimi. They meet up, I guess, for like brunch, lunch, whatever. So she goes to tell Rashida. Mimi goes to tell Rashida, like, she actually went to North Carolina to meet up with the supposedly baby mama, which come to find out Joseline was just lying about the whole thing. He ain't got no baby mama, this and that. And she was like, when will you learn, Mimi? When will you learn? Stop getting twisted and sucked up into this bull ass, especially with Joseline. Why? And she like, I know, I just moving off that. So Rashida was like, she just noticed on the blogs that Joseline and Rick Ross was a little too much close together. He kind of had his hand around the punani, and Mimi gonna make a remark talking about something. Yes, I thought she was stingy with the Cootie Cat, that song she got out or whatever. And I was like, really, Mimi? Really? But hey, even Mimi said after they do their little business, what could happen after, So yeah. So then we get to the last scene of the episode, and it's Stevie J. He would hit this new partner in crime he got. It's like, What you gonna do? What happened to the hookah lounge you had with old dude on the I think a couple of episodes back? Now you went this lady and you talking about you wanna dibble and dabble on some products she got. I just don't know about Stevie, but he go up there to 107.9, hanging with the dirty boys, and you know they just want to know the tea like any other entertainment reporter and stuff like that. They asked him, well, first they talked to Miss Jackson about her product and stuff. I'm like, oh, moving on. What's going on with you and Joseline? What is going on with you and Joseline? Because, you know, we ain't about the rumors up here. We want to know the facts. We want to know the truth. We want to know the dirt. What is going on with you and Joseline Hernandez? And he, you know, beating around the bush or whatever. But basically, he goes to say, we not together. She doing her thing, I'm doing mine, so we not together because they brought up the whole picture that Rashida was showing Mimi about, you know, he being a little close. And Jay Nix, he was asking like, you don't have a problem with that? And he was like, no, you know, I really don't. And I see why he don't have a problem, because they further go on to say, so if y'all are not together right now, was y'all ever married? And once again, I really thought they was gonna like make us wait for that answer to the next episode, but they went on ahead and told us. He said no, we was never married, not at all. And I'm like, so y'all went but I forgot for a split second, y'all, this is scripted reality TV shows, okay? Scripted. So I was like, okay, I can't be mad because look what I'm watching. It's really not reality, okay? So yeah, y'all, and you know, like I said, it's playing up to what's been happening now when he said he wasn't married and calling her a hoe, and she's saying that he pansexual, and I'm like, oh gosh, I guess she gonna bring the her result paper to the reunion. You know, I don't know what they got planned for this. But yeah, y'all, they weren't ever married. Alright then. But the next episode look a little juicy. I think that's probably the season finale. Especially if they're recording the reunion on the 25th. That's this week. So we'll probably have a season finale next Monday, and then of course the following they'll do the reunion. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Rate, comment, subscribe, what you thought about it. Definitely tell me what you thought about this episode, because it kind of gave me a little something to work with versus what I got last week, because I was like, well, it wasn't even no episode last week, so the week before that, because I was like, I just can't with this. The highlight thing I got from that episode was Scrap, De Leon, and his little son sharing some time together. But besides that, I ain't did this squat. So I'll see y'all in the next recap. Bye.